So in order to start using the map, you need to be able to open it up. So what we're going to start by doing is using an address to open up the map. Typically, if you have an address, it is quite simple, and the program will do most of the work for you. It'll auto-populate in this Google bar, which will also automatically input all of the information here. It is your job to make sure that you double check that this information is correct before you move on, however. Now what this pop-up is saying is that we must validate the dig area by marking on the map where our projects are going to be, which will be our next step. Once you get there, you should find that when you scroll down, you should be at least fairly close to your property location, or your dig site location. This one automatically input me right here. Sometimes, however, you'll find that the place where the map puts you is going to be a little bit off from where you're at, so you're going to need to know how to move around in the map. So it will automatically have your pan tool being utilized right here. All you have to do is click and drag in the direction you want to move the map, just like you do in Google Maps. You can drag it this way, that way, any way you please. You might also find that you need to zoom in. You can do so down here by using the plus sign to zoom in. Or if you need to zoom out, you may use the minus sign to zoom out to get a better view. Once you have found the correct location of your property, where your project will be at, you will now need to mark exactly on the property where your project will be taking place. Okay, so I'm going to be using this as an example, and I wanted to start by using the circle tool. Okay, that would be this circle up here in the top corner of the screen. This is what you can use to show something when you're going to be working within a certain radius. So a good time to use this would be if you were planting trees, for example, in the front. So you can take this circle, click in the middle, and then drag out to however big the area is that you will most likely be working. Okay, and I'll use my label tool right here to label and state that I'm planting a tree right here. You may also want to consider using this if you are working on a well out in the backyard, somewhere in this area. You could do that. And I've also seen it used when people are working on a satellite dish pole. So if they're going to say, I'm going to plant the pole, put the pole somewhere in here, and then they would use the line tool to show the exact path that the electric line would, or the cable line would go. Another tool you might find yourself using is the polygon tool. You would use this polygon tool to show when you are working within a rectangular area, perhaps, or triangular, a shape that is not circular. You could use this to show if you are expanding the deck in the backyard. Okay, click the button and click each corner of the area where you're going to be working, and then you're done. It will fill in the middle for you. Maybe you would use this to show if you are putting in a new shed in the backyard. You can show the exact spot where the shed will go. You mark it. You could also use this to show where exactly you're going to be putting in a new garden. And this garden's going to be a weird shape because it's going to go around the side of the house. And you could use that to show where your garden's going to be. Another time you might consider using this is if you are working on an entire part of a property. So instead of marking off each small part, like we did with the shed and the deck, if you're going to be working all over the backyard doing landscaping, for example, you could use this and say, hey, I'm working all over this backyard. And then the utilities would be marked within this blue area instead. Another tool you might find useful is using the line tool, right here in this part of the toolbar. If you click on that, you can show in a line what you're going to be doing. A good time to use this is if you are showing a fence that you're working on. Let's say you're going to attach to your neighbor's yard fence there, and just doing this back line here. Or maybe you're going to come down the side and connect to the side of your house. you can show it that way. It's a really good tool to show when you're working in a line. Another time to use this is to show when you are building a retaining wall. Perhaps you need to build a retaining wall over here in this corner, and so you can mark it out on the plot exactly where this retaining wall is going to go. Another time you might consider using this is if you are going to be doing some trenching or putting in a private line of some sort, or any kind of form of a line. You're going to be trenching in this zone right here to attach to some electrical feature that you're putting in out there. You could show exactly where that private line is going to go. Another tool, or tools you might find yourself using, is in the event that you've made a mistake, you might need to get rid of something. So you can do one of two things. You can choose this X tool with the arrow on it, and what that will let you do is remove one part of something on your drawing. Okay, so you select this, and you can say, I didn't mean to put this part of the retaining wall here, so I'm going to select this to make it go away, and I can redo it. Or if you've totally messed it all up, you can use this other X button and it will completely wipe your screen. When you are finished and you're satisfied with the selection on your map, what you need to do is scroll down and use this button here to approve and attach the sketch. Remember, you do have to read this pop-up. Make sure that this is the area that you're actually working in and that there are no mistakes. If there are, you can hit your back arrow and it'll take you back to it. Or if you are satisfied with it, you can hit this OK button and it will allow you to go on. So let's say that was my mistake. I'm going to remove that and hit approve. Check it off. Okay. Now it's going to be loading and it's saving a copy of this file right here. But once the map reloads, you will no longer see it. What you can do is scroll on down here to this zone right here and see the copy of your map that you attached. Okay, now you can go on down here and fill out the remainder of this, saying that you are developing the lot. And fill out all of the applicable information. So you can get it sent on.